Hey, I'm Russ, and that is Lauren, and this is the Infectious Groove YouTube channel, and we did a video recently where I covered 5 songs from the David Lee Roth era of Van Halen that I think are hidden gems. We got a lot of views on that and a lot of good interaction from people who agreed with some of my picks and had some others that I was totally agree with, like those ones where I was like, oh, that should have been on my list, you know? And we've talked about this on the channel a lot before. Lauren grew up more of a Sammy Hagar fan of that era. But what's interesting about the Sammy Hagar era is that with the DLR era, including A Different Kind of Truth, when he came back, there's 7 records to work with. Even though they didn't have any like soundtracks or anything they contributed to, it's all album tracks, you know? But with Hagar, when you think about like what a huge band they were with Sammy Hagar, they only had 4 records.
Yep. Which
is a finite amount of material. And then you have stuff like the record 5150, like, I don't know, everybody knows darn near every track on that. You know what I mean? So like there's, in many ways, in my opinion, you had kind of the harder task to come up with more hidden gems. It might be because there's just less to work with.
Yep.
You know? So having said that, I saw your list and I said, yes to each of the choices.
Oh, good. I did good.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into specifically one thing in particular where I was like, this is why I married this woman. But walk us through 5 of the Sammy Hagar era Van Halen songs that you think are hidden gems.
Sure. Yeah. So the first one, I think it's debatable whether or not this particular track is a hidden gem, but I'm going with the title track of 5150. And it's mostly because it had been a while since I listened to the album straight through, and then 5150 hit, and I was like, oh man, I forgot about this.
It's such a jam.
And it's so good.
Well, and like I said earlier, like it's like off the top of my head, Get Up, 5150, and like The Inside are like the only songs on that like casual fans wouldn't be able to name. You know what I mean? Like Best of Both Worlds, Love Walks In, Why Can't This Be Love, Dreams. I mean, it's ridiculous the amount
there's so much there.
songs on there. But of the 3 that most people wouldn't know by name, I think the title track it's amazing to me that more people don't know that song.
Yeah.
Like it's such a great,
it's so good.
I would put I think it stands up to Dreams and Best of Both Worlds, you know, as far as the rockin'.
Oh, the rockin' bit. And then, I mean, the hook on it is just gets me every single time too. I was like, it's a very good hook.
It's I was just having a text conversation with a friend last night, and it's the gist of it was that's Sammy Hagar doing Sammy Hagar things. You know, the next one is not the That's Why I Married You one, but I love this song so much, and you have it listed as being on the Twister soundtrack, which is true. That's where it was first available. But a more common place for people to find it nowadays is it was included on the Van Halen Best of Volume 1, which I was glad to see that it was on there because like I would rather have it on a record full of Van Halen stuff than there's another Van Halen track on the Twister soundtrack. It's just an instrumental. Yeah. But the one that's not an instrumental is
Humans Being. And I'll tell you what, I wanted them in this order to talk about. This is not like ranked or anything, this list, but going from the title track of their first album with Sammy to like the last thing with Sammy, it's such a wild swing, and you can like hear the changes in the people and the band and all that stuff. And like, I love kind of knowing that it's Sammy's lyrics were incomplete. Like they just kind of went with, okay, this is what we've got because he's done now.
Right.
So they just kind of had to fill it in with other stuff. Yeah, and you know, Eddie coming in on it at the end. From
Eddie is monster. Well, I should say that's solos.
Yeah.
There's like several solos in this song. They're so good. So I think Humans Being is, but it might be like the hidden gem from that same era. And people watching this video might be like, yeah, but it was a hit and stuff. And it was. I mean, there was a video for it and all that stuff. But like, I would argue nowadays no one remembers it. To me, that makes it a hidden gem.
Yeah. You know? Oh, for sure.
The next one is the album opener on what I feel is the best album of the Sammy Hagar era.
Sure. Yeah. Balance, Seventh Seal.
What a great opening track.
It's perfect. And I think you're right. It's the perfect way to, you know, open this album at this time for these people.
It's what we were talking about with Humans Being. It's such a dark and I don't know, aggressive album.
It's very aggressive. Yeah. It's very and actually putting this video together, I don't know any more than what I am about to say here, but apparently Eddie had been working on writing this song since before Van Halen even started. And the fact that it's the song that opens the last album with
Hagar.
Hagar, I was like, okay.
Yeah. And this will come as a shock to no one, but if you didn't see Van Halen on that tour, they opened with this track. So when the lights went out in the venue, there was a curtain all around the stage, and you just hear the chanting and the low thing, and then when the curtain drop. Perfect opening song for the tour. The next one is one, and again, this is For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge is one of those albums where, like, if you're watching this, you're probably like, yeah, but I can name like almost all the songs off of that. But I would argue this is a very big hidden gem from that.
Very big hidden gem for sure. The Dream Is Over. You know, this song, and this is good. I'm trying to figure out the best way for me to say this. I feel like there's this is not a bad thing. What I'm about to say is there's a disconnect between the aggression in the instrumentals and how laid back Sammy's vocal seems.
Yeah.
It's like
I would argue that might be a progression that was happening to where Sammy finally caught up and was like, yeah, I'm mad now too. You know, after that.
Yeah. But this feels like two different entities almost happening. Sammy's like, okay, you know, I'm still Sammy Hagar, and then everybody else is just mad. And
yeah,
I am personally not mad. And again, another great hook on this song.
You will, for sure. And For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, by and large, is a party record. Like, you know, it's like there's not a lot. I mean, outside of right now, there's not like a ton of seriousness going on. Like I would argue that there's a lot more going on Balance. And so it's weird to hear that in the middle of that record. But yeah, definitely a hidden gem. This last one is from, again, the reason why I was like, yay, this is why I married her. Not only did you pick one, but you picked two songs from Balance, which I think is criminally underrated, and darn near this whole record, I think, could qualify as, like, if it was me, it would have been like, well, here's 5 tracks from Balance that you should listen to.
Yeah, no, for sure. And before I say what this is, I was like, I really tried to pick a hidden gem from OU812, and I just couldn't. Yeah. They're all rated.
Yeah, they're all rated. They're not overrated. They're not underrated. Right. They're all there.
They're all there.
This track, on the other hand, I think is like, starts out with like a Jimmy Buffett almost feel, and then goes to a hard rockin', what's it called?
Take Me Back. And yes, the reason I wanted this on here too is because of the stark difference between this and Seventh Seal from the same album.
Yeah,
it just speaks to the breadth of what they were all capable of, you know. And I also really dig hearing somebody who usually plays electric guitar do their thing on an acoustic, and this just pleases me.
Yeah, that was a big deal when this record came out too, how much acoustic guitar was on it. I remember hearing like Rockline and all that, some people talking up a great deal about it. But one of the reasons why I like this pick is if you shake me awake in the middle of the night and you're like, what's one of the most underrated Van Halen songs? Like, without thinking, I'm going to go, Not Enough from Balance. And so at first I was like, oh, I'm bummed out, Not Enough's not on this list. But when Not Enough turns over from the ballad at the beginning to a hard rock song, it's closer to Seventh Seal than this. Like, I feel like this song shows off more diversity than that. So that's why, like, after I put some thought into it, I was like, all right, but still Not Enough, but also Take Me Back is like a better example, I think, of definitely a hidden gem from that era. So that is Lauren's list of the Sammy Hagar stuff. And, you know, if you're new to the channel and this is your first time seeing us, like, this is what we do. Because of copyright, we can't play all the songs and everything, but we like to think that we have a good opinion to share on music. But more than that, though, what matters to us is getting the comments. So, like, if anything we said you agree with or disagree with about those Hagar era songs, or if you have other songs, or like for OU812, if you think something is underrated on there, that matters to us more than anything. So drop a comment. If you're in Van Halen groups or any sort of Van Halen social media, if you would share the video out on there, that helps us grow as well. But like we always say, thank you so much for watching.